evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name's Richard Cruz, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Corporal Trevor Connell. We warmly welcome the family of Wing Commander Hilson Christopher Newton Daly, whose story will be told shortly. We're honoured to acknowledge members of 4 Squadron who are joining us this evening. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family, visitors and students on behalf of the following schools. From New South Wales, Trinity Anglican College, Lavington. And from Victoria, Sandringham East Primary School in Sandringham. Australia's Federation Guard is a tri-service ceremonial unit of the Australian Defence Force. They provide a ceremonial presence at civil and military events and during visits to Australia by foreign dignitaries. The Guard will now dismount the catapult party from the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier. I invite you all to please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Students, you may be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Wing Commander Hilson Christopher Newton Daly. Hilson Daly was born on 30th September 1908, the eldest son of Edwin and Ethel Daly of Sydney, known as Chris to his family and friends. Daly attended the King's School, Parramatta, and later lived in the suburb of Strathfield, where he worked as a commercial traveller for Dalgety & Co Limited. Daly was well known for his loyalty to his family and friends, for being an excellent host and for telling jokes. He was a keen sportsman who enjoyed motoring, tennis, golf and skiing, and was a member of several sporting clubs. Daly's great passion in his life was aviation. He held a pilot's licence, and on 16th of October 1939, weeks after the outbreak of the Second World War, he enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force. Daly told his family that after the end of the war, he would continue with his hobby because he would always need to fly. After enlisting, Daly commenced his training at various bases across Australia. Due to his previous aviation experience, he rose through the ranks of the Air Force. In October 1942, while still a flight lieutenant, he married Dora Fulliger in Barrowa, New South Wales. The couple would have one child together, Jane, born in 1944. Pilot training during the Second World War was a dangerous exercise. In May 1943, while attached to number 85 Squadron, Daly crash-landed his single-pilot boomerang aircraft while on a trailing flight at Guildford in Western Australia. He survived the accident, but the aircraft was destroyed. In January 1944, still in Western Australia, Daly was conducting a training exercise when he noticed smoke and a burning electrical smell coming from the cockpit of his aircraft. The controls of the aircraft soon burst into flames, and Daly conducted a forced landing on a beach north of Rockingham. He jumped from the burning plane unscathed and put out the fire with wet sand. Following his training, Daly joined No. 4 RAF Squadron, which operated in support of Australian and American forces in New Guinea. Daly and his squadron flew boomerang aircraft in reconnaissance and strafing missions, often guiding Allied Beaufort bombers and increasing their bombing accuracy. By 1944, Daly had reached the rank of Wing Commander. On 17th of September 1944, Daly took part in reconnaissance missions near the Kerang River, west of Madang in New Guinea. Near the village of Anjeti, Daly was performing a low diving and strafing manoeuvre near a river when his right wing struck a tree. His aircraft sharply turned to the right and hit the ground at high speed, exploding upon impact. On hearing news that Daly's aircraft may have crashed, his fellow airmen in the Western Area Headquarters immediately made official inquiries as to his well-being. Officials at the time stated that his mates were anxious to ascertain whether the rumours were true, as the member was apparently very well known and held in high regard. Daly's family was originally informed that he was missing, presumed killed, and the sad confirmation of his death did not come through until April 1946. Survived by his wife and daughter Jane, who was only weeks old when her father passed away, Hilson Daly was 36 years old. He is buried in the Lae War Cemetery in Papua New Guinea, where over 2,300 soldiers of the Second World War now lie. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Wing Commander Hilson Christopher Newton Daly, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Catapult party, present.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes this evening's last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and wish you a very pleasant evening. Thank you.